Hello, all of my fabulous, beautiful people, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you are all doing very, very well. So today, I want to take a moment to talk about what is going on with COVID and the mandates here in Ottawa, Ontario, because we have had a lot going on, and due to that, I do think that I need to have another conversation about it. So if you want to hear about what's going on with that, then you are in the right place, and I will just play my intro, and then we will get right into it. So the latest news in terms of what's going on with COVID here in Ontario is that we have reported 20 new deaths from it as of this past Thursday. Hospitalizations appeared to hit a downward plateau, and a new investigation effort found 489 of the province's total COVID-19 deaths were likely not caused by the viral infection. The Ministry of Health said 14 of the new deaths occurred in the past 30 days, while 6 others occurred prior to that period, and 2 of the deaths involved residents of the long-term care system. So the province says it has suffered 12,149 deaths from COVID since March of 2020, which is down from 12,638 people who died after testing positive. We are going to be ending the masking in most public indoor spaces and schools by March 21st. And there are going to be relaxed isolation rules and no more active symptom screening. Now, that's a little scary to me, but anyway, let's just continue. This move is opposed by most epidemiologists in the province, so I'm not really sure why we're doing that, but here we are. Moore said that individual choices on when to wear masks must be respected by all, and also suggested province may see a slight temporary increase in infection and hospitalizations as a result. I personally don't believe that we should be taking away the masks or stopping any of these mandates until we know for a fact that this virus is gone, but maybe that's just me. There were 742 patients in hospital due to the virus across the province on Thursday, and that's down only 9 from one day prior. Of those, 244 were in intensive care, an increase of 3 from Wednesday, and 130 were breathing with the help of a ventilator. Not sure why you would hear that information and think now would be a great time to stop wearing masks and having mandates. But again, here we are. Of the 2,125 new cases detected, though limited PCR testing on Thursday, the Ministry of Health said 209 cases involved unvaccinated people, 47 involved partially vaccinated, and 1,760 involved people with at least 2 doses of vaccine, and 109 involved people whose vaccination status was not known. Again, getting the vaccine does not prevent COVID. It just makes it so that if you do contract COVID, it will not be as bad for you as it would if you didn't have the vaccine. Provincial labs processed 14,695 test specimens in the previous period, generating a positivity rate of 11.2%. Anything above 0 is too much for me. The Ministry of Health said 14,705 COVID-19 vaccinations were completed on Wednesday. Of those, 1,690 were first doses, 4,072 were second, and 7,222 were third. We do have about 85% of all Ontario residents that have had at least one shot, 81% have had at least both shots, and 47% have all 3. So the good news is most of the people in Ontario are being vaccinated, which will help, especially if we take off these mandates. But again, I feel like we're doing this mainly because of the truck convoy and not because it's what would be best for us. So again, we are lifting our mask mandate by the end of the month, but we do have signs suggesting that the more infectious Omicron subvariant BA.2 is well on its way to becoming dominant. So again, I personally believe that this is an awful time to take off these mask mandates when we're getting a new subvariant that's supposed to be very infectious and dangerous. But I guess the government will do what the government does. We'll be monitoring the data in the coming weeks, but I do agree with the Premier and the Health Minister that because the trends look so good, that we can anticipate removing mandatory masking by the end of March if the trends continue. The province is beginning to see an uptick in virus spread as observed through wastewater surveillance data, but he noted that the rise isn't entirely unexpected, given the lifting of many public health restrictions. Again, every time that we lift the public health restrictions, the mask mandates, etc., we end up with a whole bunch of more people sick. So I just don't understand why we wouldn't keep all those things until we get rid of this, or at least make it so that it won't all make us all sick as we all go outside. But anyway, he also said that 30 to 40% of Ontarians, because apparently that's what we're called, likely have enhanced protraction due to a recent COVID-19 infection, which should suppress any rebounding case numbers, even with the presence of the BA.2, which again is good news because that subvariant is believed to be 1.5 times more infectious than the original Omicron. So again, this is a little bit scary to me. I do not personally believe that we should be taking down the mandates, but apparently we are going to. So there have been declining rates, though, from 4,000 down to around 800 Ontarians in hospital now testing positive with COVID-19. But again, that does not mean the risk is gone, and hence the reason we're keeping masking and delaying removing it at a population level for the next couple of weeks as we follow the data. So the good news is that it's not a for sure thing that they're removing it by the end of the month because they still want to follow the data. But it's looking pretty good that they will be. Doug Ford said that the government planned to lift the capacity limits in indoor settings and that the province's proof-of-vaccination system has been scrapped as of March 1st. So they have been lifting the capacity limits since February 17th. And they are going to continue to do so. On March 1st, the province said remaining capacity limits will be removed in all indoor settings, and the government will no longer require people to show proof of vaccination to enter non-essential businesses. Businesses may still choose to require proof of vaccination because that's their prerogative, especially if they're a private business. Masking rules will remain in effect, but the province set a specific timeline for lifting masking mandates will be communicated at a later date, and we do know that now it is supposed to be March 25th. We have had a general improvement in the COVID-19 situation in this province, but like I said, it seems like every time that we have that going on, we're like, oh look, there's an improvement, yay! We lift these, everyone goes out again, they're not wearing masks, people don't care about getting vaccinated, and then all of a sudden we're sick, or there's a new variant. I want us to make sure we get rid of this thing before we all go out and start living life again. But, you know, they are saying that it is a positive step toward recovery and that it is safe to move ahead with removing all these things. We urge the Ontario government to back up today's announcement with a stay open plan to provide clarity and certainty as we continue to manage the pandemic. This would include ensuring there is adequate healthcare capacity to avoid any renewed restrictions or business closures in the future. Again, I feel like we all get sick whenever we remove these restrictions and mandates, and then the healthcare capacity is too high. Healthcare goes downhill. We don't have enough people for all this. Maybe that's just me. When we look at test positivity and our signal of viral RNA in the wastewater, we are looking good and we continue to look good. Right now, we are certainly in a much better position than many places. And this is coming from Dr. Peter Uni, who's the scientific director of the province's Science Advisory Table. He said the vaccine certificate program, as it currently stands, is inconsistent with science. The problem with the vaccine certificates is that if we would stick a 2-dose certificate, it doesn't make much of a difference in terms of transmission. So either we make it a 3-dose certificate, which is very challenging, or we say, look, We know it is now inconsistent. It is different than a few months ago, and therefore we lift it. So I think it is right to do that in March and just deal with it for what it is. It is a tool, and we might need it again in the future. And that's in terms of the vaccine certificates being needed. They're taking those away as well. And that is basically what's going on. Again, it is very much because of the truck convoy making such a big issue here, I feel, and less because we are actually doing well. I feel like if the truck convoy, if those morons weren't out here making such a big stink, we might not have been doing this as soon. And we would have been able to wait to see how this new subvariant carries out, see what it looks like, see how people get sick with it long before we release these mandates. Unfortunately, because of the convoy, we are now doing it the other way around. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but we are in the second stage right now of the province's reopening plan, heading into the third. So I guess wish Ontario luck. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down below. I am keeping a close eye on everything that's going on, especially since I am here in Ottawa, and that's where most of the truck convoy freaking happened because our parliament is here. Yay, go Queen! So let me know what you think about all this. Do you think that we should wait and see how this virus is? How is a subvariant? How is it going to look when people get sick with it? Is there a vaccine that's going to be helpful with it before we release these mandates? Or are you all good releasing all the mandates now? Please do let me know. Be careful in the comments down below. Do not get into the anti-vax argument in my comment section. Although we are pro-vax here, we still got to have an adult, mature conversation about these things. So please refrain from sending people hate in my comment section or anywhere else on the internet. Let me know what you think. All opinions and thoughts are welcome here because I do actually want to know what everybody thinks of this, no matter where they are politically. So leave that down below. I hope that no matter where you are and what you're doing, you have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous day. Take care. I'm going to see you very, very soon with another video, so stay tuned for that. Please do be careful out here, no matter what you believe in. I do not want anyone out here to end up sick with this virus. So stay safe. Please do follow mandates until they're released, and I'll see you all soon. Mwah! Bye! Be safe, motherfuckers.